You saw that guy's super chat a moment ago about that TV show where the men were on one island and the women were on the other island, and all the women were cold and hungry.
I haven't seen it, and I would.
Let's assume for a moment that it happened. Earlier in the conversation, I asked you if you could describe any non-patriarchal structures, and you referenced communism and socialism, and kind of basically agreed to your utopian vision as like something that could potentially be non-patriarchal, right?
Have non-patriarchal values and social structure, yes.
Okay. I just want to, I was talking about human nature before. In the kind of society that you're describing, a stateless society where there's like abundance and everybody's just like hanging out and they adhere to the same social norms.
Ethical values. Instead of social norms, ethical values.
Ethical values. To his point, there is going to need to be enforcement, because to his point, there are going to be people that violate the social contract. And on top of that, the people that are going to be enforcing will be men, because typically men, if you look at all the data, men are more often violently criminal than women are. Okay. Women aren't going to be the ones standing up to the violent criminals violating the social contract. It's not debatable. We're way stronger than women are. It's going to take men to restrain violent males.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't know of any evidence for
men have on average
so why do
3
men
times
have to protect from other men?
I can demonstrate
men
this
have on average
logically.
3 times greater upper body strength than women do, even without training.
I'm raising my hand for a while.
One sec.
Fine.
Wait, do you take issue with the position that men are physically stronger than women?
I don't like that it's used, but I don't have any evidence for or against. I think that women can be physically strong.
Nobody's saying they can't be physically strong. I mean, she can hip thrust 600 pounds.
Yeah.
But like,
if I were to ask you this easy question, pretend that you were in charge of a prison, and you could hire all female prison guards for the most violent criminals on planet Earth, or all male prison guards with the exact same qualifications. Which ones would you hire?
The strongest. Period.
Which ones are going to be the strongest, do you think?
I have no
maybe I can add to that
evidence for who is going to be stronger.
Maybe I can add to that.
What do you mean you have no evidence? Life experience. Men are stronger than women are, almost always.
Based off gender. I could not pick who is going to serve my people the best.
Let me ask you a question.
Right?
Let me ask you a question. The 100 strongest people in the entire world right now, are they men or women?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
They're men.
Okay, and I believe you guys, and I support you.
It's not.
The point is,
this is a layup.
This is crazy. The point, you're saying that you've never seen any evidence that like basically men are on average stronger than women. What about like life as a whole? Like,
it's obvious. There's 3 men. There's 3 men cornering her. Like she can't like answer.
Hold on. May I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Steph.
What do you mean? These are big, strong women. What do you mean?
Because you guys have like 10 years on her, and like you guys obviously know your points a little bit.
Okay,
that's meta. That's irrelevant.
When they when there was a draft, why would they choose? Why is it only men?
That's a good question. Now
it's going to have to be women soon. So
yeah, unfortunately, because feminists are fighting for equality, so now we're going to get it.
So in the Bible,
it's because there's no men going into the army.
Men are protectors.
One person at a time. You go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's been stated in the Bible that men are protectors. So yeah,
right, because they do a better job protecting women.
I will say that,
I have always felt more protected by my mom than I have by my dad.
Okay, but that's fine. I would like to ask again, the 100 strongest people in the world currently, are they men or are they women?
It's obviously men.
But since you guys are asking the question, I'm going to safely assume that it's men. And I do not have a problem with that. And I mean...
The richest people are men. All the billionaires are men.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200. All may be saved through Christ. No man can save the girls on the right, so let's stop trying. There's no utopia. Without a rudder all ships run aground. Without direction all efforts fail. Reality weeps.
Okay, it sounded like you had something.
I've had something probably 10 minutes ago. Let me think about it because I probably forgot it. It was 10 minutes ago I raised my hand. So, do you think that a matriarchy society just means that because he sent that question that was men on one island and women on one island, and then the men were fine and the women weren't. So do you just think that society should be only men?
No.
Like, what's like the solution? Because you seem to think that like women don't have like a value in any
No,
way.
certainly not.
That's
That's
What's
not
value
what we're
is
saying.
to breed and be in the kitchen.
not what
What's
we're
the
saying.
value of a woman if it's not? Because like all you're explaining is that men are stronger.
Her value is in her reproductive ability and her ability to take care
What
of her
if
family.
a woman was infertile?
What if she was?
Yeah, what if she was? Does
What
that
if she
make,
was?
Does that
Then
mean
what
that her
would her
purpose has failed?
I know, but I think that it makes her, generally speaking, less valuable to men inside of that society. Wouldn't you say?
So you like this society under like a
you
Reagan
think that
presidency?
she's less valuable as a person?
no,
under,
that's not what I said.
Under
Hang on,
God.
Are you saying- are you-
Repeat what I said. Repeat what I said.
You think societally people would
hang
find
on.
her
Let me say it again.
less valuable?
I said that the men inside that society, where women cannot reproduce or a woman can't reproduce, are probably going to find her less valuable.
In terms of a dating
No.
and romantic.
Yeah, well, not just in terms of dating and romantic.
That's not a
but here's the
popular
thing.
opinion. A lot of
Let's
people don't
just
wanna have
walk it through.
children.
Walk it through logically. Do you think that women are equipped to do the same kinds of jobs that men are equipped to do?
No, but are men equipped to do all the same jobs that women are
Yes.
allowed to? No.
What job can women do that men can't?
It's vice versa.
Reproduce. I'm sorry, not reproduce. Give birth.
That's
Bear
not. I mean,
children.
that's not a job. It's
Yeah.
part of your biological makeup. But when I'm asking you, where are all of the female stonemasons? Where's all the female Green Berets? There's not a single one. There's not a single female Navy SEAL.
What's-
There's not a single
Because we
female.
aren't raised
who's-
that way.
There's not a single.
Nobody
no.
told
Hang on,
me
hang on.
We're
to
not
sacrifice
raised
my
to
family.
do
Hang on, let me
To be
finish. I'm almost
fair,
done. I'm almost done.
I think that women could hypothetically
Do you-
do those jobs,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just like men could hypothetically do a traditional woman's
No,
job.
they
Do you
can't.
think, do you
But-
think you guys
but
would succeed the same way?
typically
as a
it's
Ladies,
not-
ladies,
Can I
ladies,
please talk?
stop.
Can I please stop?
Stop.
But typically, right, stereotypically, that there's a reason why men primarily have those jobs and they're better at those jobs,
Yeah.
right? But
What do you think that reason is?
biology, absolutely.
Okay.
100%. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying there's hypothetically there could be an outlier, right?
Yeah,
that
but
a
we're
woman
not-
could be a
We're
Green
not
Beret
pushing
or
anything
whatever.
as a monolith.
Yeah.
Okay, so my argument has nothing to do with anything
James
being based
Sexton
around that.
donated
Women-
Oh, hold on,
$200.
hold on.
Now that I've heard these Mensa members talk, I'm feeling really disappointed about none of them wanting to date me. Looking forward to coming on the show soon, Brian. And great to see Andrew here.
Yeah, thank
It's
you,
great
James.
to see you too,
I'm
Sexton.
sorry you were too old.
Love you,
James.
James.
So just kind of so that you understand, we're not talking in monoliths, okay? So I'm not saying everyone can't ever do
You said
X.
name a job that
Right.
that a woman
Yeah,
can't
that-
do that a man can.
Yeah,
But-
so what
so
I'm,
if we're
what I'm
talking about
talking, and I'm
exceeding-
clarifying right now so that you understand,
Okay.
this is not a monolith. It's not, I wouldn't even think I'd have to explain this, but I guess I do. It's not, nothing's ever expressed in a monolith. So I'm not saying there could never be a hypothetical woman who does X. I'm just saying that if you look at what men do, okay? If you look at just basic jobs which are done outside, like roofing, for instance, this is a really good one. Female physiology actually is not equipped to deal with that because of heat extremes. So you guys like studies. You like studies. You keep on saying, I love the studies. The studies are great. Well, here's a great study for you to take a look at. Women inside of office spaces, they get really cold. And the men don't. Why? Why is that? Do you know why that is?
Can you tell me?
Well, I'm asking you. Do you know why that is?
I mean, it's a
because their
probing
physiology
question.
is
You can
completely
just
different,
say
so
why.
they can't regulate their temperature in the same way that males can regulate their temperature. This
Yeah.
is why when they work outside, they're less prone to get heat stroke, they're less prone to have all sorts of different issues that women are more prone to have. So yes, there are these kind of physiological barriers, not just the, well, if I was raised to be a construction worker, I could be one. Nope. There's still physiological barriers which exist between the two sexes.
Yes, I was never denying that. I was just saying that there are still women. It's just, because we're not raised like to do those kind of things. Men are raised typically, traditionally, more masculine and to work more masculine jobs. There's not going to be a father teaching most of the time. I mean, I was taught to do, like, to fix my own tables and...
Women do better academically than men do inside of the United States, overwhelmingly. And they're far more likely to complete their education. So who's telling them then not to do these jobs if you say they're not raised or somebody's giving them some kind of barrier to entry.
I just think it's like a pointless argument because, like, yes, it's a more male-dominated field to do like these hard labor jobs, but you guys simultaneously will complain about like building society and how you guys are the ground.
That's a straw man, so
before I get to
not straw manning,
you wanted to come in. You were raising your hand, right?
I mean, this was actually from a really long time ago. This was an entirely different topic. It was actually over the topic of prostitution and everything like that. And that was a long time ago. This isn't.
Okay, go ahead.
With the jobs the mentioning of the jobs in the education, women weren't allowed to get jobs and get educated until within the last, what was it, a century or the last century or even half of a century?
Women have always done better at education than men have inside the United States. You're only talking
they were
now.
raised to get married and have children.
They weren't allowed to get their degrees. They weren't permitted.
You like Reagan's presidency.
Please,
if you don't let me finish the point, you won't even know what I'm saying. Okay.
My apologies.
What you're talking about is when women started going to higher education, universities and things like this. Yes. Try to understand the educational distinctions here. That a college degree now is worth far less than it used to be because as more people are allowed to go do X thing, the standards necessarily have to get lowered. Always. So you're always applying to the lowest common denominator. Would you agree that that's true?
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah, so pretend, right, that before college was about rewarding the best and the brightest. Only the smartest could go, okay? The smartest everywhere, those were the ones who went to college. But now anybody can go. Do you think that they would have the same standards as when only the smartest people could go? If now everybody could do it.
I just feel like that's another probing question.
Yeah, it is a probing question. So I would like you to answer it, though.
I mean, I guess I don't have a hard opinion on college.
I mean, logically, if now...
Yes, they would want the smartest people.
I almost entailed it in the question.
They would
this
want
must be true.
Yes, they would want the smartest people. Like
no. Okay.
Here, let me get a couple chats in.
I'm dumb woman. Sorry.
Okay,
this
is the most quiet I've ever. This Cleo, as a woman, men are superior to women in any and every way. Not my word. Don't shoot the messenger here. Question for the girls: would you rather be in a house with a man in a house or a woman in a house if there was a break-in? Love you, Chase. Wait, so would you rather be in a house with a man or in a house? What?
If there was a break-in, would you rather be with a
man or a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Whoever has a gun.
Okay.
Neither have a gun. Everything's equalized. Would you rather a man protect you or a woman?
If everything's equalized, then it doesn't matter. If they're
No. I mean, like in terms of weapons.
No, I think
just
so. What you're saying?
Just your bodies.
I don't know what their bodies look like.
You're saying that there's.
Come on.
Chase is saying that
statistically men are stronger. So
Chase is saying that the guy you're with or the woman you're with doesn't have a weapon. Would you prefer the person who would potentially be helping you defend in that situation? Would you prefer that be a man or a woman?
How am I supposed to know? A woman, okay.
Well,
a man can be built like the guy at the computer.
Would you rather it was the average man or the average woman?
I don't know what either one are built like. I don't know the
you've lived a life. You're 19 years old.
Average.
You've seen the average. You've
here. If we can concede that certainly there are some women that are stronger than men. Absolutely. There are kind of weak dudes and there are super strong women. She hip thrusts what, what did you say, 500 pounds?
No, 590 pounds.
Oh, excuse me, 590, my bad. There are some very strong women who are capable of defending themselves. Some of them are martial artists. We're not saying that no women can be stronger than men.
I know.
However, can you at least agree with this? Most men are stronger than most women.
I don't know the statistics. No,
there's not a fucking
life
statistic.
experience.
Holy
life experience.
Well, let's equalize it then. I mean, let's just say it's a man. It's a man and a woman.
No, there are statistics.
Yeah, I mean, like basic common sense,
Nick,
though.
Search Google for average grip strength of men versus women.
We'll just say a man and a woman, both
We've
130 pounds. They're both bodybuilders, right? They both go to the same gym. They both have all of those things in common. They're 130 pounds. They both go to the gym. They both work out constantly. Which one would you rather have defend you?
Do I need a study to see that the
Look,
sky
no, we
is
don't.
blue?
We don't need
It's
a
not
study.
about the sky
Look.
is
The actual statistics is the average man who doesn't work out is his upper body is 3 times stronger at least than the average woman's upper body with no physical exercise.
If the man is stronger, my choice between this man and this woman, and the man is stronger, I will choose the man. If
Go ahead,
the
Nick,
choice,
pull it up. Men maximal hand grip strength showed the expected clear difference between men. Less expected was the gender-related distribution of hand
Wow.
grip strength. 90% of females produced less force than 95% of males.
So 95% of males
And
were
this-
stronger than 90% of females.
this is grip strength. This is not fighting strength.
Well, let's just say you had to
I'm
choose.
telling you.
Hang on, that's
just
fair. That's
carry
fair.
a gun,
I get it.
ladies.
It's
I know
fair.
you get just carry a gun.
I'll get it. It's fair. So let's just try it this way. You had to choose blind. You have to choose blind, right?
It's gonna work.
So
It's not gonna work.
no. You have to. That's
Okay,
the nature.
that's why I'm
This is the
responding.
nature of the hypothetical. You have to choose blind, whether or not you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get
It's just a roll of the dice.
A super tough, awesome ass-kicking chick who knows ninjutsu, or a UFC fighter dude. You don't know. You know what I mean? It's a 50-50 shot. You don't know what you're going to get. Who would you roll for? Who would you roll for? Who would you hope came out the other end?
She's
A
not gonna.
strong
She's not gonna.
individual. I'm
not gonna give it to you.
genuinely-
Yeah, no.
there's
But
so
who
many
would you?
variables
But
in
if you
this
had
hypothetical
to choose
situation.
one or the other blind, you don't know, right? Which, right? You're rolling the dice. So you can only choose one. Do you want a man to come out, or do you want a woman to come out? You don't know what the variables of them are going to be. You only know this one task, which is that they're going to defend your life. Which one would you pick? Which one would you pick?
I just want to let you two gentlemen know
I don't have a
I'm
proper
witnessing the case against the 19th Amendment play out in front of my eyes right
You
now.
actually don't have a preference. Well, wait. You don't have a preference then?
Okay, so you're giving me all rolling the dice, right? All of the women in the world, all of the men in the world.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to roll a dice?
Because- so-
and then even if they're gonna fight for my life with all of their strength that they have.
Hang on. Listen, a hypothetical is designed to test your logic, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we're doing is we're doing a thought experiment.
Hold on.
Modest Hikima donated $200. Girl 3, I'd quat to say. 4 on way to Red Pill. 1 wouldn't answer if she was forced into sex work. Call 911 please. Number 7 FKN based.
I think that's
Lucky
you.
man. Minimal makeup superior. 3 has gun. FKN scary with 0 brain power.
Okay. All right. Chikama. I don't know. I'm not sure. He was talking about numbers. It was very confusing.
So the question becomes this. Because they're trying to test your logic and say, we're telling you that on average men are stronger. And you're saying, I'm not sure because unless I have the studies and this and that. So what I'm testing your logic to find out is this. If we had a situation where you had to choose blind, it's going to be a random woman or a random man who comes out to defend your life. And you could only choose one. There's a button there that's blue for man and red for woman, right? Which button would you push? You can only push one.
I don't think she's going to go for it. Andrew.
I think we can ask this question a
You know
million
what?
different ways.
I will answer as close as possible to the answer that
Go ahead.
you
go
guys
ahead.
want me to answer.
I don't want
We
what
want.
you-
We want what? Well,
I want to know what you think.
That's what I'm.
okay. Go
I don't
ahead,
want
go
to
ahead.
hear what you
Go
think
ahead.
I want
Go
to
ahead.
hear.
Go ahead.
Okay, if we take all the men and all of the women in the world, and there are more stronger men, in this numbers, in these numbers,
In
that
this
we're
roll
throwing
of
out.
dice
If
that
there's
they're
more
saying.
strong men than there are strong women, I would choose the men.
Okay. Let me ask you a follow-up question
Does
related
that make
to that.
sense?
So-
Was that thorough? Okay.
I think the previous question I asked you was, who do you think the 100 strongest people are in the world? Mm-hmm. And it's to me, you said you didn't. Are they
looked it
all
up. I have
men?
no
Are they
idea.
all women? Is there a mix? All the men and all the women in the world, are men stronger than women physically, generally speaking?
We did talk about this earlier.
Well, I'm just
so-
asking, generally speaking, are men physically stronger than women?
Didn't I already say that I could not answer the question?
Pound
Like,
for pound,
without-
they are. Muscle density, bone density is proven that
I'm
men
pretty sure we all answered
are
yes.
superior to that.
No, she's not answering. She's saying she doesn't know.
Which I think is fair and a
No,
really
we just
good-
referenced statistics that showed that 95.
strength. That's
90
one
Grip,
movement in
that's
the
strength is
body.
grip strength
You're
is
a
a huge
19-year-old girl.
grip strength is huge evidence of your upper body strength.
Yeah.
That's your hands.
Let's-
And you said it's not related to fighting strength. I used to wrestle in high school. Now,
Let's try it this way. You went to high school, right?
Nick, can you
For
look
2
up the
years.
male
When you went to high school
world
for the 2
deadlift
years
record
and you
and the
looked
female
around
world
your
deadlift record?
environment?
Thanks.
yeah,
Would you
look up-
say that the men in the high school were stronger than the women in the high school?
No,
Like when you just looked
No.
around?
not always.
On average.
Just most of them. Most of them
Here,
were stronger
There's
than
a lot
the
of
let me ask you a
small guys
question.
in my
If we
school,
were
at
to,
least.
are you familiar with like Olympics, right? You know how there's weightlifting competitions in the Olympics? These are the most exceptional athletes of both men and women. If we were to show you that in not just weightlifting, but also in like lots of other sports, in swimming, in racing.
I have a perfect example. The U.S. And I'm saying this with all due respect. The U.S. national women's soccer team played a group of high school boys in soccer.
Got scorched.
They got smoked by the high school boys. These are the best female soccer players in America. They got smoked by a group of high school boys.
Okay, cool.
Do you?
I'm not saying this to like shit on women or anything like that. It's just like it displays the difference between the sexes. It was just a.
I guess we
high school boys
can't.
team.
Just
There's no
biology.
actual
Yeah.
place to go in an argument if descriptive reality is rejected. So if the descriptive reality of that everybody on planet Earth's going to agree with is, generally speaking, not in a monolith, there's going to be exceptions to this rule, men are stronger than women. That's indisputable descriptive reality. So if that's rejected, I don't even know where you go with an argument. It's like a failed premise right away.
So I think it would, to have a more thorough argument whenever it comes to this stuff, you'd have to look at the actual biological factors that go into this. So like you were going
Like
for
larger
pound for
muscle, like
pound.
let's say larger skeleton, for instance, more ability to create muscle mass, higher testosterone, all the things that lead to increased strength. Like all of those things which men have on average that are much larger than women, larger bone structure, the higher testosterone especially. Do you think that men produce more testosterone or women on average?
Probably men, but
So
women
then wouldn't that-
It's definitely men.
Look, on average, I can't remember if it's 100 times or 1,000 times more testosterone than men produce than women do. But this is what we're getting at. Men, and what he's talking about, men produce the hormone testosterone. This governs why we have stronger bones, why we have stronger muscles. It also explains a lot of what feminists call the inequality in the world. I was touching on it earlier in the podcast. The hormone testosterone makes men more driven, more competitive, more aggressive. This is just built into the nature of reality, and it's what, factually speaking, like men are on average far stronger than women are. Doesn't mean women suck or that they're bad. It's just a difference between the sexes, and it's grounded in biological
Grid on
reality.
Motorsports donated $200. Anyone remember when Serena Williams got smoked by the lowest ranked male pro? Men are built for violence and action, women simply are not. Women will poison you in your sleep.
Wow.
Men will fight you.
Okay, thank you, Grid One.
Maybe.
I think one good example of this is that in a lot of sports, if we're looking at the Olympics, for example, I believe that this isn't across all sports, but